Welcome back to another episode of The Quest for Self. I'm your host, Allie. Today's episode is deeply personal. It's about that feeling we've all had at some point, the quiet ache of not being chosen. Not necessarily in big, dramatic ways, but in those subtle, often unspoken moments that still leave a mark. Lately, I've been sitting with this feeling more than usual. I wanted to share this with you, cry about it, and be honest about it. Because just voicing it out loud already helps me feel a little lighter. And maybe, just maybe, if you're feeling the same, it'll help you too. So, my brother's visiting from California, but he's staying with my cousin, not me. When I asked him why, his response was simple. She asked, you didn't. At first, I thought, okay, that makes sense. He can definitely be the type of person who needs things laid out clearly. But in my head, I just assumed, I'm your sister. You don't need to ask. It's been a theme lately. In our plans, I sometimes feel like I'm the backup option, the last choice when everyone else has their plans. He has trips with friends, outings with my cousin, and while I totally get it, it's his time to have fun, explore, and be with other people, it still stings. A little part of me feels, well, kind of left out. And I know I'm not alone in this. There are so many quiet ways we feel unchosen. It's not malicious or intentional, but when those little moments stack up, they start to add up in ways we didn't expect. It's like the softest, the subtle wound that you don't even notice until it starts hurting a little more than it should. This sense of being unchosen has been creeping into other areas of my life too. Recently, I've been getting back into dating, and let me tell you, it's a minefield of these tiny, painful moments. I went on a first date with someone a little over 2 months ago. We had a good time, at least I thought we did. But after, there was no follow up. No text, no message, just silence. I had been ghosted for the first time. At first, I brushed it off, but then it hit me. Oh, so he's not interested? That little ouch of rejection is tough, especially when you're just trying to put yourself out there again. Then I dated someone else for a couple of weeks. I thought we were connecting pretty well. But when something tough happened and I needed him to show up, I waited and waited, and then nothing. Complete radio silence. It wasn't just an ouch, it was now a cut. Even in familiar spaces, that feeling of being unchosen creeps in. I used to go to this cocktail bar all the time, and one of the bartenders there was always so warm and kind to me. We'd chat, he'd give me free drinks. It always felt like a little safe space to land. But recently, when I walked in, he barely acknowledged me. He said hi in the coldest way, and it threw me off more than I expected. These moments, they seem small. I get it, okay? But when they keep happening, they build up. One by one, the little cuts stack up, and it feels like a storm of rejection. And when I'm already feeling vulnerable, when I'm already dealing with my brother and his plans with everyone but me, it becomes a little bit hard to handle. But here's the thing. It's not just about my brother or about those dating moments. It's about something deeper. A history of times when I've longed to be chosen, but wasn't, in ways that I truly needed. I was in a long term relationship for over 8 years. In the beginning, I felt so seen. So chosen. He made me feel like I was the only one in the room. But over time, that faded. And when it did, it shattered my self confidence. The loss of that feeling of being chosen, it left me feeling small, invisible, and disconnected from myself. I'll be honest with you, these last 2.5 years have been about rebuilding from the floor up. I had to learn how to be my own anchor, to believe in my own worth when others weren't showing up for me. So when these moments happen now, the quiet feelings of being unchosen, they tap into that deeper wound. They remind me of a time when I didn't know how to choose myself. And honestly, I'm still learning. But choosing yourself over and over again, it could be exhausting too. There's this emotional fatigue that comes with always being the one who shows up, the one who initiates, the one who makes the effort, reaches out, and tries to care. I've found myself in that role again with my brother. When you're always the one carrying that emotional load, when you're the one who's constantly initiating the connection, it starts to drain you and you wonder, why does it always have to be me? Look, I'm not blaming anyone. I know that people are busy with their own lives. But when you're the one who always reaches out and gets little in return, it could be exhausting. You start to wonder if you're the only one who cares. So I'm really trying not to let this fester. I don't want it to turn into bitterness or any type of resentment. So I'm giving myself the space to feel it, to acknowledge that, yeah, it hurts, but I'm also choosing not to let it consume me. I'm not going to confront my brother about it. I know him far too well. He's not the type to get deep into his feelings. And if I brought it up, he'd probably say something along the lines of, I didn't want to bother you, or they invited me first, so I just said yes. I don't want to make him feel awkward or obligated while he's on vacation. Instead, I'm doing this. I'm choosing to take care of myself. I've been moving my body, swimming, working out more than I usually do, and doing things that ground me. Hanging out with friends, extending out an invitation to him, but not depending on him to reach out to me. I've even learned how to play paddle. Like I said, I'm still reaching out to him. We recently had a great night together at a comedy show, and we're planning to see a soccer match soon. I love deeply and I feel deeply, but I also know I can't sit around waiting for others to choose me. He's here for months, not days, and I get it. He wants to hang out with his friends too. So I'm not sitting around hoping he'll message me. I'll continue to show up, but I'm not waiting on anyone to validate me. Choose to reframe things. Even when others don't show up the way you need them to, you still get to choose yourself. You get to decide that your worth doesn't depend on others' choices. I'm learning to give myself what I crave from others: the care, the presence, the compassion, the validation I've been waiting for from others. Well, I'm starting to give that to myself. Pain doesn't just disappear, it still stings. But choosing yourself means you're not abandoning yourself when the world doesn't pick you first. You get to be your own anchor. So, here's a gentle reminder. If you're feeling like you're not someone's first choice, whether it's in a friendship, a family dynamic, or a relationship, I see you and you're not alone. Take a moment to ask yourself, who am I craving to be chosen by? And how can you start choosing yourself a little more today? You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. And just don't forget that before you can expect that from anyone else, you have to give it to yourself first. And maybe, just maybe, this moment, this ache, this step is part of the journey. Because every step you take leads you to a better version of yourself. Even the painful ones, especially the painful ones. You're doing the work, you're showing up, and that's what matters more than you could ever know. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. It would mean the world. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media, The Quest for Self.